right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Jack Graham here, your realtor here in Las Vegas. And today we're going to give you a nice market update. But before we get into it, let me know down in the comments if you can hear me. That way, there we go. It looks like from my phone, the audio is great. So we'll wait a little bit to see who, if we can get some people tuning into the channel, and then we'll start going over everything that we need to talk about. First of all, we're going to talk about the Fed rate and what they did last week when it comes to the interest rate hikes. Then we're going to cover all the mortgage rate increases that are happening due to the newest rule that came out from Democrats that decided to make mortgages more expensive for wealthier, and higher higher credit score people, and give that money over to less, with people with a lesser score. And then we're gonna go over what the 10-year Treasury is doing as far as the interest rates. We're going to cover pretty much what's happening with the interest rates following what the Federal Reserve has talked about. Then we're going to go over all the data here in Nevada when it comes to, homes sold, homes under contract, how many homes, what's the difference between now and what we had on the second half of last year, to kind of understand if this is a market that is trending downwards or upwards, and give you my personal insight also on what's happening, because as a realtor that is always active out there selling homes and trying to get into as many places as possible, which means both on the resale side and on the new construction side, I can give you my personal insight on what's happening based on the feeling that I get from the sales agents, how the builders are reacting to buyers trying to negotiate the price down, and all these things, so that you can have a more educated idea of what's happening in the market. That way you can make a decision whether it is the right time for you to buy or sell, and get into that position if that's not, if it's not the right time for you. But also, I'm going to give you at the end my last thing is going to be at the end. I'm going to give you my forecast, my prediction with my crystal ball that I have, that everybody asks me about my crystal ball, at least all the clients that I help. They're always asking me, hey Jack, what do you think is going to happen in the market? I'm going to share my opinion. Again, this is not financial advice for any of you guys out there. I do not know your financial situation, so I cannot give you any of that. However, I can give you what my opinion is and what I'm doing in the market. So that's pretty much it as far as the summary of what I'm going to say. Not as many people today. I did decide a weird time to go out on on the live to do this live market update, but eventually people will likely watch it on the review, so we'll go from there. So number one, let's talk about the newest news, which is pretty much, let me share my screen with you. All right, so as you can see here, we have borrowers with good credit may pay more under Biden mortgage rule. Now, I don't care, obviously all the news media, they're going to try to make it, political and all that stuff. It's Biden doing this. At the end of the day, I understand why they do it, whether it's Biden or whoever it is, the other president is trying to get the, into office. They try to pass laws that benefit them when it comes to getting more people to actually vote for them. So this is pretty much an attempt for the Biden administration to get more votes from the lower income people, right? So what it is doing is this rule, what it is putting an extra fee for high credit score individuals, which is about $50 a month extra on their mortgage is what it's going to be. And then what's going to happen is going to make it $50 cheaper for people with a lower credit score, that they have. So this is going to cause it's caused a lot of noise in the media, creating this big thing. Oh, is it fair? Is it not fair? I don't know. I don't think I have an opinion on this. It's just a matter of, okay, I guess it's not fair for the people with high credit score, but this has been happening forever, so it's not a big deal. This is more of a political move, so I'm not worried about it. At the end of the day, $50 is not really going to make a big difference. Sorry about that. $50 is not really going to make a big difference on the big picture. Being that an average mortgage right now is around, I believe, $3,200 a month. So getting an extra $50 a month really doesn't move the needle much. Okay, but that's my take on this. Nothing really interesting to see over there. When it comes to, oh, by the way, guys, there we go. Joanna says, always appreciative of this update. Yeah, by the way, at the end, we're going to do a Q&A if anybody has any questions. So you can start leaving those questions down in the comments, okay? Anyway, the Federal Reserve did increase the rates and a quarter point and signals a potential end to hikes. Now, this is true. I watched the Federal Reserve and what they said during their meeting. They did increase the quarter rate, which is what people were expecting. But this is not the reason why mortgage rates went up a quarter. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work that, hey, the Federal Reserve increased rates a quarter point, so therefore my mortgage is going to be a quarter more expensive. That's not true. That's not how it works. That was the expectation. So your mortgage was already considering this quarter point rate hike. And it didn't deviate from what they were thinking about doing. The difference happens if there's going to be a difference that is going to be felt in the real estate market, is going to be if they deviate from what they said that they were going to do. Which they said they were going to do this quarter point. It's not going to make a big difference, is what I'm trying to get to. They approved, the 10th interest rate hike, bringing it to their target range to 5 to 5.25, and it was unanimous. So that's great for them. They're trying to stop inflation. Again, the real what they're trying to do is pretty much, let me get this back on. What they're trying to do is pretty much they're trying to slow down the economy by raising interest rates, which is pretty much putting people out of work, is what it is. And trying to slow down the velocity of money and trying to get people out of work, which makes, as a consequence, the economy suffer. And if the economy suffers, there's less money into the economy and less money into people's pockets, which is definitely a thing that is happening right now, which causes, as a consequence, people to stop spending money on homes, on any kind of food or whatever it is, right? And then people are stuck now with high prices, but they're not spending money. So what's going to happen is prices are going to come down to incentivize people to spend money. But then this kind of slows inflation, but is it morally right to do that? I don't know. They're saying, well, the worst, it could be way worse if we let inflation just go off on its own and just do its thing and maybe get inflation again to 10, 11% like it was last year. So this is the worst, the worst of the evil things that we can do, which is raise interest rates. Anyway, that is the whole situation. But I've gotten some clients saying, yesterday I was on a call with a client and they're like, well, Jack, the Federal Reserve now increased interest rates a quarter point. Does that mean that my interest rate is going to be a quarter point higher now? Every time they raise it, it's going to be more expensive. It's not really, that's not how it works. Let me explain a little bit better here with the 10-year Treasury yield. So the 10-year Treasury yield is the best and closest indicator of what's happening to the mortgage rates. This means this is how we kind of follow the interest rates on what's happening for mortgages. And if you look right here, as you can see, this was back in July 2022. And that was when interest rates were actually, I need to go back more. Let's go 5 years back so we can see it all. So as you can see, 2 years ago or 1.5 years ago, we were at record low 0% interest rates, and then they've been increasing them ever since. And as you can see, the interest rates kept going up and up and up all the way until December right here, which, October, November, December, I marked that as the bottom of the market in my opinion, unless these interest rates start going back up again. But as you can see, that it used to be 4.21%. And that's the baseline. Obviously, the banks need to make money on top of that. So you got to add on top of that another 2.5% or so to reach an interest rate. 2.5 to 3% is what the banks usually make off of your loan. So right here, that's over 7% interest rate right here at the peak in October. Then, interest rates have adjusted and calmed down a little bit. And right now we're at 3.5%, which means you're probably going to get a mortgage of about 6.5% on a 30-year fixed, okay, if you have good credit. Now, it's not like yesterday they announced 0.25% and boom, your mortgage went up 0.25%. No, that's not the case. It's going to be something that happens gradually. If, let's say tomorrow, the Federal Reserve comes out and says, we're going to keep raising interest rates for another 4 meetings, which means they're going to go up another 1%. You're going to see your mortgage rates skyrocket by a full point. Obviously, I don't think they're going to do that because the market doesn't expect that. The market expects them to actually decrease interest rates at the end of the summer. That's what the expectations are. But then, obviously, that's what's going to change, not their official rate hike. And let's see. So we talked about... Let's see how many people are tuned in here. We got 8 people. What's up, guys? What's up, Joanna? Thanks for texting. For putting a comment down there. If you guys have any other comments, any concerns or anything, let me know down in the comments while I go through this data that I'm going to share with you guys right now, which is the pretty much how many homes we have on the market here in Las Vegas. So here's how we do it. I'm going to go and I'm going to pull the data live in front of you. This is real data, and data doesn't, in facts, the data is pretty much a fact, right? And it doesn't care about how you feel about the market. So I'm pulling right now all the homes that went under contract, which is these 2 lines, in the last 30 days, which is showing me how much demand there is in the market. I'm also going to pull all the active listings, so all the homes that are available on the market right now, okay? And then I'm going to get all the sold homes in the last 30 days to see what's happening, all right? Then I am going to go to the map. I'm going to select the area, the Las Vegas Valley, and I'm going to go over here all the way down to Boulder City. We always connect all the data. I've been doing the same scheme right here. It's Boulder City, Henderson, Las Vegas, and North Las Vegas, all 4 cities in the Las Vegas Valley that we've been considering. So I put that up, and then we go over to results. Pull the results, we look at the data, and here we go. So active homes on the market, we have 4,801 homes available on the market. And this is everything: condos, townhomes, it's single family homes, whatever it is, right? But this is all the homes available on the market. We have 4,801. For comparison, this used to be 13,000 units that we used to have on the market back in July. That's when interest rates hiked very fast. Everybody freaked out, put their home on the market. That's when the market started tanking, right? And we've had a 12% correction ever since July last year, or probably May or so. And then ever since then, we've had interest rates kind of, kept going up, and then they started kind of trickling down a little bit. So we went from 3% interest rates in January to 7% interest rates in October. Now we're back to 6% interest rates or so, which, let me share my screen again here with you guys. As you can see, we have 4,801 homes right now on the market, which means this inventory has been trending down really fast. We saw back in December, we had 9,000 homes. So from July to December, we went down to 9,000 homes. Then from December and 9,000 to January, we went to 6,000 homes on the market. From January to right now, beginning of May, we're at 4,801 homes on the market. Now, this is not healthy. If we look at interest rates being at 6.5%, and we have also only 4,800 homes on the market, while we are selling every month, because I pulled the data, right? The homes that went under contract in the last 30 days, every month we're selling 912 plus 1,876. That's about 1,900. That's about 2,800 homes a month that we're selling, which means we have less than 2 months of inventory. That's about 1.7 months of inventory. To give you an idea of what that means, it means that if no seller were to put their house on the market, let's say we all agree to not put their home on the market, and only the homes that are on the market are going to sell, it would take a month and a half, a little bit more than a month and a half, to sell all the homes, and we will have 0 homes available. That's what it means. And that is not a healthy market. That is more of a seller's market, which is what we are in right now, because the data doesn't lie. We have 2,800 homes going under contract every month, and then we have 4,800 homes on the market. Simple, straight up data. That's what it is. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of data as far as what homes have been doing as far as prices. Okay, so we go to the monthly chart here, and this is all price ranges. We're looking at all property types. Could be single family, condominium, townhomes, and all construction types. This includes new construction and previously owned homes. Okay, and as you can see, this is data from back in March 2020. Average sales price here in Las Vegas was $295. It's been trending up with the last 2 years of craziness that we've been having, all the way until last year, June 2022, where the average sales price for the median home is $445,000 here in Las Vegas. And then ever since then, we've been seeing a downtrend. 410, then it kind of corrected in September as interest rates went down again, and then back down again all the way until January, because January, the data that we see here in January with a median sales price of $386 actually reflects the homes that got on the contract in November or December, which was the bottom in the market, in my opinion. And then ever since then, from $386, right now we are at around $400,000, the average sales price in April. So we can see already the correction that we had, and now the market is kind of trending up again. That doesn't mean home prices are going to skyrocket. It's just what's happening right now. We had about a $14,000 increase, but this data is from April, which means this is only the homes that got under contract back in February. Okay, this does not include all the homes that have sold so far. That's where my opinion is going to come in. I'm going to tell you what I think is happening in the market and what we're going to see next in the home prices. Okay, but right here, right now, back in December, if you were to buy a house, it would cost you $386 for, let's say, a 2,000 square feet single family home here in Las Vegas. If you buy right now the same home, on average, it will cost you $400,000. Obviously, it's different from previously owned homes. We're looking at $375 average back in December to now $390. And then if you look at new construction homes, it has a different pattern, because new construction homes, they don't close right away. It takes them 6 months, and then they manipulate a little bit this data. So I really wouldn't consider this much accurate. Okay. Anyway, we are looking at, so far, all of this data right here that we saw, we see a little bit of a reversal is what the point is. From back in November, December, we see home prices trending upwards until February. That's the data from February, March, okay? Now, what have I seen personally in the market, right? And if you look at what's been happening on the market, Let's see. If we look at what's been happening in the market, I had, I think, 3 listings back in December. And I was having a hard time selling them because the market was really rough. Nobody was buying. There were 9,000 homes on the market, but we had only 2,500 a month were selling, or actually even less. I think at some point, one of the worst months, it was 1,900 homes, which was a 5 month of inventory. Now, what happened is the the market has completely changed now. So a lot of those homes that I used to have on the market in the last 3 weeks, all 3 of them are gone. They're just under contract. We received offers, some of them multiple offers on the houses. So I've seen personally the reversal. Okay, I personally see it every day going into new construction home builders. I know all the agents out there, so I talk to them every time. Hey, how's it going? How many homes did you sell this week? I ask every agent the same questions. How many homes did you sell this week? How many homes do you have coming up? How many spec homes do you have left before you have to build more homes? And they tell me this information. And there's one thing that has been generally happening. Every neighborhood is different, right? In Las Vegas, there's different pockets, different markets. You have Northwest of Las Vegas market, then you have Southwest Las Vegas market, you have Inspirada market, whatever it is, right? But based on the market, on the location, we see overall, we see inventory going down significantly. I'm talking about all the spec homes are flying off the shelf, and I can literally tell you each neighborhood how many homes are going down, how many homes are getting sold. For example, in the Northwest, we had a bunch of inventory. Now it's getting halved pretty much. We had, for example, Toll Brothers, an example, Montrose is the community. Single stories, 3-car garage, 2,400 square feet homes. Beautiful Toll Brothers homes, 10-foot ceilings, all that stuff. They had a bunch of spec homes. In the last week, they sold 7 homes. 7 homes because they gave out an interest rate promotion of 5%. They got rid of a bunch of it, that inventory. 7 homes is a lot if you're looking at, the fact that they have only 20 homes to sell left, pretty much to sell in that community, 20 to 30. Okay, so you can see how the inventory it just went off the shelf right there. But it has happened in other communities as well. We look at KB used to have at least, KB obviously the lower price range right now I'm covering. KB used to have a bunch of homes available. Like they used to release a home site and they would sell it. It was going well, but it would take them a little bit of time to sell these homes. And right now they're doing drawings. They're in Inspirada. You look at the townhome collection, the very low end, like 350 or so price range, selling that like cupcakes. I mean, they have a waiting list. Every drawing, they have 20, 30 people that they have to pull their name out of a hat. You look at the bigger collection in Inspirada, for example, Landings. Same thing. They have a drawing, not as many people, 5, 6 people always at the drawing, pulling out the names, trying to figure out who is going to get the lot that they're going to release. Go over to the Northwest, Talus, waiting list. They have 12 to 14 people on their waiting list. You go to, for example, but then at the same time, you go to Montalado, still in the Northwest, and they have 1 or 2 lots available. So it changes. Every neighborhood is different. But then all the new builders, because there's a lot of inventory coming up, a lot of builders are starting to build a lot of homes because they're foreseeing the market correcting and starting to sell a lot more. So what's been happening is D.R. Horton, Lennar, Pulte, all of these builders, not much Pulte because they still have inventory, but they've been starting homes like spec homes because they believe the market is going to pick up and we're going to be left without inventory soon. And so what's happening is now we have all these builders starting all this new construction, creating some good inventory on the market, which is good. We need it. We need to sell something. People need a house, right? But where is this going to bring us in the long term? I believe that's going to stabilize the market. We're not going to have a huge increase in prices here in Las Vegas. We're probably going to stay steady and have a slow growth as long as the interest rates stay stable. So if right now we have a 6.5% mortgage rate, Let's keep it at that. I hope the Federal Reserve doesn't increase more, doesn't come down. We have a stable market that is appreciating a little bit, just like it's supposed to because of inflation. And let's just keep it, the same, right? Don't increase interest rates more. Don't bring them down. We are in a healthy market. So if this happens, that's what I foresee it happening. If interest rates go down, then you're going to see real estate prices just boom, because that's the only thing that kept interest rate prices from going up is the Federal Reserve putting a stop to the market is what they did. And then if the interest rates actually do go up, then we should see another correction or some kind of flattening out of the market, because we're getting into the buying season right now. We're in May, so this is when everybody comes out and starts buying. In the last 3 weeks, I've seen a huge increase in activity. As I mentioned, all the resale homes that I had on the market went under contract. Everything is selling quick. Builders are not budging anymore on prices. Some specific neighborhoods. There are some neighborhoods, just got a contract today over in Cadence, a brand new neighborhood nobody knows about. And they have these homes, they have 10 spec homes that they need to sell, but nobody knows about it. So nobody's going to put in an offer on it. I was able to get a client. We were able to get $25,000 off of the purchase price, negotiating it down. So every pocket is different, and it really depends on the neighborhood, and there are always opportunities where you can buy. But for the majority of the neighborhoods, most of the neighborhoods out there is pretty much no inventory. If you want to buy, not no inventory, I wouldn't say that, because there are still some neighborhoods that do have inventory, but there are some that have waiting lists. So I see it as a stable market. Everything is kind of balancing itself out now that all the spec homes are gone from the second half of last year, which was an amazing time to buy. Now, prices have recovered a little bit. I've seen builders bring up prices as much as 10% from the end of the year last year. And now we are in this slowly appreciating market with nothing too crazy, but you still can find a house. It's just that you're not going to be able to negotiate as much as I used to, for example, back in the second half of the year. But anyway, that is the update so far. Let me see what people are saying about what I'm talking about. Not many comments today. You guys are quiet today. We have 16 people watching. That's nice. Dave Almer says it will be felt 3-5 years upon renewal for those who overpaid for housing. Why would it be felt 3 to 5 years down the road for those that overpaid for housing? It's an interesting thought, but I'm trying to understand the logic behind it. The way I see it is 3 to 5 years down the road, prices are probably going to be recovered, so it's not really a big deal. The only reason why it would be felt 3 to 5 years down the road would be if they had an adjustable rate mortgage or some kind of balloon mortgage that balloons in 5 years. But if you have a 30-year fixed rate, those that overpaid for houses actually are in a better position than those that are paying less for a house today. You know why? Because they got a 3% fixed interest rate for 30 years, and their mortgage payment is almost half what it would cost someone to buy a house today. So I disagree with that, respectfully. I want to know, however, what your reasoning is behind the 3 to 5 years, what you think that is the case. And if there's someone else on the chat that has an opinion about that, let me know what you guys think. And this is the biggest thing about real estate. It's a slow-moving, giant that it doesn't get really moved much unless there's something really wrong going on. And that was what happened back in 2008, where the lending standards were just messed up. Anybody could get an adjustable rate mortgage. Everybody was just over leveraging. Real estate never goes down in price and all that stuff. So it's interesting how right now we still compare. We still make the same comparison as 2008 when that's not the case. We have to be also logical about the data that is out there and have a logical perspective and outlook on what's going to happen, to to have a better idea. But yeah, that was my thing. That was a big thing. One thing, however, that you're right about, Dave, is the fact that in 3 to 5 years we're going to be feeling commercial real estate, because the lending in commercial real estate is still a balloon loan which is due in 3 to 5 years, and if they don't refinance those loans, so if interest rates stay as high as they are, we're going to have trouble in the commercial real estate market, because interest rates are high and prices are high. So those prices are going to come down big time. But that's connected to the lending. So a lot of homes that are right now that have, for example, tenants in there, they're cash flowing and everything because they had very low interest rates to start with. Right now, they're going to have to refinance in 3 to 5 years from now. And that's when you're going to have that issue with a lot of builders or sellers of apartment complexes and commercial real estate that are going to put all their houses on all these commercial real estate facilities on the market, which is going to cause obviously the market to tank, because you're going to have a lot of inventory. Interest rates are still high, so not as many buyers, and that's going to tank the commercial market. And we might see a little bit of a spillover, but we're going to see the spillover in the whole economy at the end of the day. But I don't think real estate, as far as the residential side, is going to be touched much. Greg Foster, what's up, Greg? His house is coming up really, really nice. Our builders running out of land. I noticed a new KB development on Dean Martin with the 15. Yeah, that's Magnolia Ranch. In your backyard, with the 15 in your backyard. Thanks for getting me a good deal. Looking forward to moving soon. Yeah, Greg. So that's Magnolia Ranch. They actually are selling very well, even though they're right next to the 15. I heard, and let me know if you guys watching here, let me know in the comments, but I have a client that is purchasing a home right now. They're in the contract, and we were looking for a resale home right off of a freeway. And he said, I would never buy a home off of a freeway. The reason why is because the smokes from the tire and all the smoke coming out from the cars and whatever it is, the gas, whatever, you have, I think it's a 700% higher chance to get cancer if you live within 150 feet to the freeway. This was his thing that he told me. Now, I didn't verify the data. I didn't see the study, what kind of study they had or whatever. But if you live 150 feet away from a freeway, you have a 700% higher chance of getting cancer. I did not know about this. But let me know down in the comments if you know about this, if you know any study. I would like to research that a little bit more, because it sounds very interesting. But definitely something to consider. But yeah, to answer your question, Greg, are builders now, running out of land? And the answer is no, not necessarily. They're still buying a bunch of land. And we're going outwards and outwards in the valley, because there's really not much left, I guess, nearby the city. Like Southwest, KB still owns, they still have another active 6 or 7 communities in the Southwest. So it's not just that one Magnolia Ranch. They just happened to have that land. It was a good deal that came by. So they started building homes on it. Yeah, but it is close to the 15. I don't think I would ever buy a house there. But maybe some people don't care. Maybe they like the convenience of being close to the 15. And I'm not talking it's that close. It's not 150 feet close. It's probably, like 400 or 500 feet close to the freeway is what it is. Joanna says, with the slowly incoming recession, what do you think will happen with inventory? Ooh, good question. Okay, first of all, you're insinuating, Joanna, that it is going to be a recession coming soon. And my opinion is, if everybody says there's going to be a recession, it's probably not going to happen. Or if it's going to happen, it's going to be a mild one, because everybody's predicting it. So everybody's getting ready for it, saving money and all that stuff. Usually we get a recession when when nobody thinks a recession is going to happen. And that's when we get, the big recessions like 2008 or whatever. So I don't see it happening. Maybe a small recession, it's not going to be a big deal. And inventory, I don't think it's going to change much. The fact that there's still going to be demand, right? It's not going to be as high, however. So the demand is going to change. But the inventory, as a consequence, is going to change as well because, and obviously real estate is local, right? But let's say, for example, here in Las Vegas, if we are in a recession and people are not buying because they can't afford a home, the builders are just going to stop building. There's not going to be any inventory to buy. So inventory is going to adjust as well because we have such a growing city here in Las Vegas. If you're talking about another neighborhood where they don't build at all, like in Los Angeles, that might be affected a lot more because they don't have that change in inventory, right? And we build a lot of homes out here in Las Vegas. We're talking about thousands and thousands of homes every year. We're talking about probably, 5,000-6,000 homes a year that we build. But the point is, it's probably going to go down inventory, and so is the demand, which means prices are probably not going to get affected as much unless we have a really bad, recession. But then if we have a really bad recession, what's going to happen is the Federal Reserve is just going to decrease the interest rates. They're going to bring them down to zero again and allow for inflation to keep happening, and then home prices are going to skyrocket. So there's literally no way out of this other than one way. It just doesn't make sense. The big thing that is going to happen here, even if we have a recession, is that prices are going to stay stable or even go up during recession. And that's what's called stagflation. Stagflation means where you have inflation at the same time as we have a depression in the market. We have a recession as well as inflation at the same time. So prices stay up and then people get out of work. So that's my best guess. But again, who am I to say? I'm just a realtor, I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. Anyway, I don't think we have any more questions, but I hope that answered what I think is going to happen this year. Again, as I mentioned, we are at around $400,000 for the median sales price of a house here in Las Vegas. I believe it's going to keep trickling up all the way until the summer or past the summer even. And then we might have, depending on what happens on the interest rates, my guess, they're going to decrease the interest rates and prices are going to still keep going steady, which is pretty much the same thing that we saw back in 2018. If you go back to 2018, the Federal Reserve increased interest rates from, I believe it was 3% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. They went up from 2017 from 3% to 2018. They went into a 4.5% interest rate, and it was instant. They literally increased the interest rates right away in one meeting. That caused the market to completely come to a halt. The homes, I had a listing back then. It was under we had the comps that were selling for 410, 415. I put it on the market for 390, and I wasn't able to sell it at all because the home could not sell for more than 360. We're talking about a 10% correction instantly because of the interest rates being hiked so fast. And that's what caused all of what that's pretty much what happened this winter or this past year, where we had an increase of interest rates. At some point, they're going to stop the rates. And it looks like from the way they were talking last month that they're going to stop increasing. They're going to keep them at this rate for a while. So I foresee this staying stable and going up in the future. That's my prediction. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, so take my prediction with a grain of salt. So that's what it is. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys found some value in this market update. I think I'm gonna go to on Wednesday. There's Chuck is inviting me to his live podcast, so I'm looking forward to having a great conversation with one of the best realtors here in town, or like a realtor that actually sells a lot of homes, to see what's happening really in the market. So tune up to his channel, subscribe to his channel, like his stuff, and we're gonna have a live on Wednesday. We're gonna talk about the market and what's happening. So check it out over there. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.